Game theory is a fascinating field that studies how individuals or organizations make strategic decisions when their outcomes are interdependent. It provides a framework to analyze competitive and cooperative scenarios, making it invaluable in business, government, and even personal decision-making. At its core, game theory involves players, strategies, payoffs, and rules, all working together to predict outcomes in complex interactions. One of the most famous models in game theory is the prisoner's dilemma, which perfectly encapsulates the tension between individual and collective interests. Let's dive into this model. Imagine two criminals arrested for a crime and interrogated separately. The prisoners face the following options. If both prisoners remain silent, they each receive a light sentence of 1 year. However, if one betrays the other while their partner stays silent, the betrayer goes free, and the silent one receives the maximum penalty of 10 years. If both betray each other, they each serve a moderate sentence of 5 years. This scenario can be represented in a payoff matrix. When both prisoners stay silent, their cooperation results in the best collective outcome. If one defects, the betrayer gains a significant advantage at the expense of the other. But if both defect, their mutual mistrust leads to a worse outcome for both. The rational choice for each individual to minimize their own risk is to defect. Yet, this strategy results in a suboptimal outcome for both parties, highlighting the inherent conflict between self-interest and the collective good. The dominant strategy in the prisoner's dilemma is defection. Regardless of what the other player chooses, defecting minimizes potential losses in the short term. However, this leads to a Pareto inefficient result, where neither player achieves the best possible outcome. This simple model teaches profound lessons. It shows how individual incentives can lead to collective failure, the importance of trust, and the challenges of balancing short-term gains with long-term benefits. The lack of communication in this scenario amplifies mistrust, driving both players to act defensively. In strategic management, the prisoner's dilemma offers valuable insights into real-world business scenarios. Take pricing wars, for instance. Competing firms face a choice: maintain high prices or lower them to gain market share. While keeping prices high benefits both, fear of losing customers often drives price cuts. This scenario mirrors the dilemma, as mutual defection leads to reduced profits for all. Another example is trade agreements. Countries negotiating tariffs face a similar choice. Cooperation through lower tariffs benefits everyone, but imposing tariffs can seem advantageous in the short term. When trust erodes, trade wars emerge, harming both sides. The dilemma also appears in advertising spending. Competing firms may overinvest in ads to outdo each other, increasing costs without significantly boosting market share. Coca-Cola and Pepsi's advertising battles are a classic case. Additionally, environmental policies often reflect this model. Companies must decide whether to adopt sustainable practices or prioritize immediate profits. If all defect, the planet suffers, impacting everyone in the long run. However, the dynamics of the prisoner's dilemma change in repeated interactions. In a repeated game, strategies like Tit-for-Tat, cooperating initially and then mirroring the opponent's previous move, can foster trust and encourage cooperation. This approach is particularly relevant in long-term partnerships, ongoing R&D collaborations, and other situations where maintaining trust is crucial. Despite its simplicity, the prisoner's dilemma has limitations. Real-world scenarios often involve more players, complex payoffs, and evolving strategies. The assumption of rational behavior doesn't always hold, as emotions, biases, and external factors influence decisions. Ultimately, the prisoner's dilemma reveals the complexities of strategic decision-making. It emphasizes the value of trust, communication, and a long-term perspective in achieving mutually beneficial outcomes. By applying these lessons, businesses can navigate competitive dynamics more effectively, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for collaboration and growth. Enjoyed what you saw? Hit that subscribe button and like this video to join our community and never miss out on new content.